precious child. Peace be with you, oh my dear one. Peace be with you, precious child.
Hello, Unity on the Bay. Ooh, I love that. You guys know my name and everything. My name is Faye, just in case, arms. Just in case, all right? All right. Good morning, Unity down the Bay, and welcome to A Positive Path for Spiritual Living. My name is Faye Tatiana Albernas. It is truly an honor and a privilege to assist Reverend Juan this morning. We've got an incredible service for you. We've got our Unity on the Bay music ministry. Yes, yes. With an incredible cameo by the one, the only Miss Myra Alvarez. Yes, yes, yes. We've got the Daily Word. We were going to be talking about Raul Hernandez. We've got an incredible service for you today. So while we're here, we also have our kids in their own time of inspiration and learning in the Kids Zone. You can enroll your child right now by going to our website, unityonthebay.org. Go on the Family tab, click on there, put a couple of information things in there, and bam, boom, beam, your child gets to be in on it, okay, next Sunday. So check that out for yourself. So there's a couple of things that I'm super excited about. And Anthony gave me extra coffee, so it's his fault if I fall off the stage this morning. All right. Imagine having the confidence to manifest anything you want in your life. I'm going to let that sit there. Okay, can you imagine that? All right, let me see. I'm going to manifest the perfect partner. I'm going to manifest $1 million. I'm going to manifest that shoe closet. Yes, it's possible. Join us online for our newest class, okay? It's Heart-Centered Metaphysics. And learn for yourself how to tap into that creative power, the aspects of the nature of the divine that are key to manifesting pretty much anything that you want in your life. And that means anything, no boundaries, limitless. During this online class, you'll also come to learn and understand the importance of thoughts, feelings, as well as denials and affirmations in the manifesting process. You might be the one blocking certain things from happening. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, people at home, all right? So, spoiler alert, you might be thwarting your own manifestations of good in life. So understand that. This class starts this Wednesday, October 6th at 6:15. Registration is open on our website, unityonthebay.org, and this class can be taken for SEE credit, all right? All right. Lastly, as a member of the Love Gala Committee, who's been to the Love Gala? Who's been to the Love Gala? All right, so I have been on the committee for 5 years. 4 years. 5 years. I think they threw me out 1 year. I can't remember. But I am so excited to announce that we're moving forward with the gala this year. The Love Gala is back. If you want to see Reverend Juan cut a rug, just for that, you should go to the Love Gala, all right? So it's going to happen Saturday. We're doing it on a Saturday this time, all right? So no excuses. November 13th at Parrot Jungle. All right, so it's going to be incredible. We know that safety is on everyone's mind right now, and we want everyone to have the best experience possible. So we're going to require one of two things. Either you voluntarily show proof of vaccination, your vaccination card, take a picture of it. We'll show you how to send it our way. Or provide proof of a negative COVID test taken within 48 hours before the gala. I think everybody can do that, right? Because we all want to party, but we want to party safely, right? Yes, yes. Of course, you can wear your mask if you want to. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the test must be a PCR test, which you can get for free at so many locations. But you can go on our website to get all the information if you need to. And you can also visit a table back to my left. Miss Michelle's back there. Woohoo! Our board member and gala committee head and sister of mine, so she has all the information that you need, and they're also doing an early bird special. Michelle said early bird from today to next Sunday, you can get your ticket for just $125. So you're going to get $25 off the ticket price just like that. So make sure that you go on over to Michelle and see her after the service, all right? And now I will shut up and get this party started. Help me welcome Reverend Juan. Too much coffee, Reverend Juan. Too much coffee.
Should we do the video, though, Faye?
Oh, my God.
Let's do a video. Who wants to see a really funny video?
I totally forgot. Oh, my God. There's too much coffee.
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Gosh.
Are you sure? Okay. You do it.
All right. What are we talking about? A few years ago, Faye visited Reverend Chris at his place because there was a lot of commotion going on around the Love Gala. Check it out.
All right, so this is what's going on. Hi, spiritual family. It's your girl Faye, co-MC of this year's Love Gala. It's our 10th anniversary, and I'm here with our board president, Mr. Eddie Dominguez. All right, so this is what's going on today. I heard through the spiritual grapevine that the reverends were taking some time after service today to figure out what they were going to wear to this year's Love Gala. The second that I told Eddie that, he said,
"Time for a fashion intervention."
uh-oh. All right, so let's check out what they're doing.
God help us. Here we go.
Chris, I promise you this is the best idea ever. Look at that. We can be all dressed up. This is going to be so cool. And we're going to be matching. Fist bump, fist bump.
You know, I do like the red. I think it really brings something out.
Veto, presidential veto. No, this
What?
does not work.
Hey,
0, 0,
look
0.
at that.
We're like the dynamic duo. This
There
is
you
great.
go.
Yeah, maybe for like kid TV or something like that, but not the Love Gala. Ain't
Oh.
gonna work. Sorry.
Eddie, you are the snappiest dresser that most of us know, okay? You've got to help these guys out.
I'm gonna do my best. Let's check out Reverend Chris's closet. Come
Oh,
on.
God.
Oh, boy.
No.
Oh, but I like that one, Chris.
No.
Oh, that's my favorite.
No. No.
So guys, how is it going? How is it going?
I'm fine. I can wear any of this.
No. It's hopeless. We gotta go shopping.
Are you serious? There's
Yes.
nothing there that the guys can wear?
We're off to Brickell City Center right now.
Can I come too?
Please, yes.
I guess you'll have to see us at the Love Gala to see what Reverend Chris and Reverend Juan end up wearing to this year's Love Gala. Get your tickets today, unityonthebay.org.
One, I wish my voice would have been an octave lower in that video. And two, I haven't gotten my fist pump from Reverend Chris yet. Come on. So maybe for this year's gala, we really do hope that you all join us and have a great time. I can't promise the kind of dancing that I was doing a few years ago, but we will have a great time. So I am really grateful that you'll be joining us for the Love Gala. I'm really grateful that you've joined us to be part of this Sunday experience. We have fun at Unity on the Bay, don't we? And we have fun as we get to know ourselves even more deeply, that we get to know God more deeply. And there's joy in that. Knowing God is a joyous experience. And so I'm grateful that we can be part of each other's journey and be part of each other's joys. So for those of you who are here at Unity on the Bay, whether in person or online for the first or second time, I am Juan. I'm the associate minister here in this community, and we'd love to get to know you a little bit more. Please follow the prompts that are on the screen if this is your first or second Unity on the Bay experience, so that we can connect with you, tell you a little bit more about our programs, and just welcome you into this amazing, powerful spiritual community. A community that is guided by a mission, a vision that is amazing, and core values that we get invited to embody and live into each time that we're here together, but really to embody in our own lives. For we know that the core values of Unity on the Bay are expressed by its people, right? And it's the way in which Unity on the Bay extends out into the world and brings more of that joy of God into expression. And so as we speak today, our core values, I really hope that you own what they are and allow yourself to envision how you can share them in the world. So are you all ready, Unity on the Bay? Yeah. All right, so let's speak our core values together. Diversity, generosity, gratitude, integrity, love, spirit-led, and wisdom. And so knowing that those are already taking place within us and as us, let us move into this experience of prayer, opening ourselves up and opening this experience, this Sunday experience of knowing ourselves and knowing God more deeply, trusting that the very presence of God is here, alive within us and alive within our own experiences, guiding us, inspiring us to greater ways of being out in the world. We take a moment, we take a pause to honor and celebrate all that God already is in our lives. God as love, God as light, God as prosperity, abundance, health, well-being, all that God is alive within each and every one of us. And we see this not only as what we embody, but we see this as a possibility, as the opportunity for a world that works for all. Thank you, God, for guiding us to be a part of this community. And thank you, God, that in this moment, we are centered in the awareness that God's love is never ending. God's peace is never ending. God's joy is never ending, for God is here, now, and always through us. And we say, yes, God, here we are. Yes, God, here we express. And yes, God, we trust and have faith that you are with us. Thank you, God. And the people say, amen. Let's have a great service.
Thank you, Reverend Juan. As you already heard from Faye, we have the great pleasure of having my sister Myra Alvarez back in the house. Yay, Myra!
Good morning, Unity on the Bay. Who's ready for some praise and worship this morning? All right. Who's ready to praise that joy never ending that we have inside, for that Christ that lives within us, for that light that shows the way every single day of our life? Get your hands together. Let me hear them. There we go. And a little dancing. Come on, Faye.
I'm weightless, lifted so high because of you. Free, there's nothing left holding me because of you. I'm coming to life, I'm burning so bright. You are my joy, your love is a river rising up like a well in my soul. I will rejoice, I'm found in your freedom. You are my joy, never ending. You are my joy, never ending. Woo!
Yeah. How about we sing together? What do you think, brother?
Say, I'm anchored here in your grace because of you. And faith, I'm fearless standing today because of you. You are my joy, your love is a river rising up like a well in my soul. I will rejoice, I'm found in your freedom. You are my joy, never ending. You are my joy, never ending.
Thank you.
The Unity on the Bay Music Ministry, please give it up for George, Mario, Dale Stein, Anthony Alvarez, and the incomparable Miss Myra Alvarez. You know, Myra, I'm indebted to you forever. You actually introduced me to my wife, right? You were the one who introduced me to my wife. Your mom knew before anybody, right? ¿Te recuerdas de eso, right?
Yeah.
Her mom was like, you two aren't friends. There's something more going on. That was you. But no, I'm indebted to you because, you know, whenever you may have a million things going on, you always find your way back here. You always come back to home to share your talent with us. And we are so, so grateful. Correct? Unity on the Bay, right? Unity on the Bay? Folks at home, make sure that you write your comments in the comments section, okay? Because I'm constantly stalking you guys to make sure that you're listening, all right? It is now time for the Daily Word, and today's Daily Word is also a recognition of our amazing backpack drive team from Angels Everywhere. Those who supported the backpack with their dedication and sweat, and I mean a lot of sweat, because a lot of this happened in a warehouse in the summer. But, you know, we want to honor those people who helped organize, collect funds, and distribute our backpacks. 5,000 backpacks. Yes. Thank you, right? Wow. 5,000 backpacks. So, you know, without you, this program, you know, none of this would have been possible. This was the largest backpack drive in South Florida, all right? And it's been the largest backpack drive a couple of years running. So we keep on exceeding, you know, our goals. It's incredible. It's incredible. So for that, we're grateful as we honor our Sacred Service Team of the Month, Renee and her whole volunteer team. You guys are exceptional. But for now, right now, Bill Gorman is going to read the Daily Word. And, you know, wherever you see Bill, he has to make sure that you see him, right? I will run into Bill at Pride, and he'll be like, Faye! I run into him on the beach, Faye! I'm like, you know, I love this man. I love him. So he's not only our congregant, and a loud voice, right? He also is the one who got Turnberry Associates on board, and they helped collect $20,000 toward this pack drive. $20,000. Thank you to Turnberry as well. So please help me welcome Bill Gorman to the stage.
Thank you, Faye. Today's daily word, let go, let God. Divine love, wisdom, and understanding expresses through me. If I feel unsure of the next step in any situation, I let go and let God. I don't walk away from difficulty or try to force resolutions. Instead, I release my tight mental grip on problems and open myself to solutions. I let go of my ego's desire for control and my need to bring about specific outcomes. I believe there are solutions and remedies beyond what my mind can conceive. I yield to possibility. I trust the indwelling divine presence just as I would trust a mentor. Letting go and letting God means creating space for the dynamic creative energy of spirit to inspire and surprise me. Divine love, wisdom, and understanding fuel my thoughts, express through my words, and guide me in all ways. Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Give me an undivided heart to revere your name. Psalm 86:11.
Wake up to the power within. Deep inside, it's always been. With God's love, I learn to forgive. Grace and mercy fill me with a light so divine. I know I am free. Now I live the power within. God has given me everything. Peace, love, truth, wisdom, and strength. Now I
And we're good. That was really quick today, huh? But you loved it. You loved the talk. All right, let's settle down. As we get ready to just take a moment and experience meditation. I just invite you to breathe into this space. A space that is full of joy. A space that is full of the understanding and the awareness that the very presence of God is here. And so if you haven't done so already, gently close your eyes. What a beautiful experience you're allowing yourself to be a part of. An experience where we each recognize the activity of God, Spirit, in our lives. And we feel this presence almost as an embrace. Allow yourself to feel loved, to feel supported. Join me in taking another deep breath. We go further within. Further within into that inner sanctuary of our being. That space within us where we know we have trust and faith that we and God are one. That we are one with the energy and the consciousness of abundance and prosperity, love, wisdom, peace. The space where we know that we ourselves are an expression of all that God is. And so if you came here this morning to experience a greater sense of God's peace, know that that peace is already within you. Allow it now to flow, to enliven this very experience. If you came to experience a greater sense of love, know that you are love. That love flows through you and as you, centered now in this awareness, focused in the indwelling Spirit of God. And so notice as your mind becomes more still, feel, sense your heart space expanding, unfolding this very moment. Trust and faith abide in you. So let's take another deep breath. We call forth a greater understanding of our truth. And we call forth wisdom. We call forth health and wholeness. We call forth love. And we call forth a sense of freedom to experience and to know ourselves as abundant expressions of the living, loving God. To know ourselves as blessed and as a blessing. Yes, you are blessed and a blessing. And so take a moment here and now to experience this truth about you, to experience and know this truth about your life, blessed and a blessing. Let us sit with this knowing as we go into a few moments in the silence. Let's take another breath. We affirm we are centered in truth. We are centered in God. We are centered in the love, the light, the abundance, and the gratitude that is within us. So it is. As we let it be, amen and amen.
Know this song? Na 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 na. Let me hear it. There we go.
keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. And I never could have come this far without you. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. Na 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 na. Come on, Juan, I know you know it. There we go. Na 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 na. Woo! I want to thank you for so many gifts you gave, the love, the tenderness. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity, the love, the honesty that you gave me. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love, my respect for you. I want to thank you. Let me hear it, unity. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, come here. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you. I want to thank you for so many gifts, the love, the tenderness. I want to thank you. Stand up, Mom. I want to thank you for your generosity, the love, the honesty that you gave me. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love, my respect for you. I want to thank you. Te doy las gracias, 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 gracias. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me hear it, unity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
I want to thank you, 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 thank you. Na 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 na. Thank you.
Give it up for Myra's mother, Maria. We love you, Maria.
I still remember the first time that I was like, oh my God, we're putting Natalie Merchant in the in her. So I'm going to invite us all to just be in that spirit of gratitude, of speaking thank you for the kindness and the generosity that Myra has always shared with our spiritual community. And I want to honor that in the midst of challenges, in the midst of changes, you are that faithful individual who knows to give thanks to God. And some of you may not know this, but Myra is going to be heading up to the Tampa area shortly. And so she's going to be moving with her family. Don't worry, she's already scheduled to come back in December. But we want to really just acknowledge that you take Unity on the Bay wherever you go, and you will always be a part of the heart of Unity on the Bay. So thank you. And I hope all of you get to express gratitude on your way out, and on the chat. So thank you, Myra. Man, I'm in that energy of gratitude. I'm in that energy of just being grateful for that which we have all sort of been able to experience together and through each other. And I'm especially grateful today in the journey that I have been in and the things that have shown up in my life. And I trust and I do have faith that today when you leave here, you will trust and have greater faith in your own journey and in the ways in which you get to not only experience God, but that you invite yourself to experiment with God, inviting God to show up in greater and greater ways, not only in your life, but through your life for others. Now, Unity, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Unity movement has a tagline. It's a positive path for spiritual living. And it's beautiful. But you know, for me, I think that it's even greater than that because it's not just spiritual living. As I mentioned earlier, it's joyous living. I mean, if I really practice the practice and the teachings, and I really allow myself to embody that which I know is for us to embody, man, it feels good. You know, it's not just positive. It just feels good. It feels joyous. There is an energy that begins to flow through me in such great ways. And it's an energy that not only uplifts my own life, but really uplifts the human family. And I really want you to understand, at least the way that I see things, the way in which we put our practices into play in our own lives, it's a blessing to the world. It's the way in which we do say thank you for the generosity, thank you for the kindness. And it's the way that we really step into a greater trust in the presence of God. Now, the question is, do we trust the presence of God? Think about it. Do you trust the presence of God in your life? How many of you immediately go to, yes, I do? Beautiful. For those of you who may not go there just yet, right? But even the ones that did say go there, because I'm the first one to be like, yes, I trust. And then I think about certain areas of my life where I have some fear, where I have some anxiety, right? Where I have some judgment. And I think, okay, maybe I can trust a little bit more. Maybe I can step into a greater sense of faith. And I've shared with you before that Unity and the Unity principles have allowed me to move through this journey, this spiritual path, and it's been one that has moved me from survival mode to thriving mode. And the question is, where are you in that spectrum? Are you in survival? Are you in thriving? Do you experience both? Right? Are there areas of your life where you would like to thrive a little bit more? And how can we do that? When I first walked into Unity on the Bay, eons ago, I was in between minimum wage jobs. I had a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-love. I didn't have not only financial security, I just didn't feel secure in my own being, right? And if I look back on it as I was sitting with this, I was lost without even realizing I was lost. How many of you have experienced that where you don't even realize just how lost you are? And then all of a sudden you wake up to, oh, okay, yeah. And thanks to the very presence of God, thanks to miracles taking place, thanks to grace, we were able to move out of that in some way or another. And so I want to share with you some of what has allowed me to move from that sense of survival to that sense of thriving. And I invite you to consider what Eric Butterworth says, which is, don't go through life, grow through life. Grow through life. Let life be the experiment. Let life be the experience that allows you to learn more about not only who you are, but who you are in relationship to this divine presence that is love, that is peace, that is joy, that is unending abundance, unending everything that was being sung, right, by Myra in the first song. And for me, growing through life has meant that I've been able to experience a greater sense of abundance. And I don't consider myself necessarily a role model for many things, but I am really trying to live into knowing that I am a living testimony to abundance. And I hope that you yourselves are also living into that, where you can look at your life and you can be proud and you can own own the living testimony that you are to the presence and the power of God, because I know that you have expressed it. I know that you have lived it. I know that you have embodied it. And so the more that we can really get into that awareness, into knowing our worth as living testimonies, and the more that we get to do the practices, right, that allow us to stand firm in our trust and in our faith, the greater blessing we will be for those around us, the greater blessing we will be for the world. And so abundance, right? This thing that I believe I am a testimony to, these abundance principles. What does abundance mean? What does it look like for me? I've shared this with you before. For me, abundance is having spiritual maturity. Just knowing, right? Knowing that there is this spiritual undercurrent to all of life. It's having vibrant health. Again, I'm working on it, Faye, right? I shared those experiences with all of you, right? But vibrant health. But you know what? I trust that I'm a healthy, whole individual. I do. I know that at the core of my being. How I'm fully expressing it, I'm working on, right? But fulfilling relationships, having fulfilling, loving relationships in all areas of my life. Work that we love. How many of you want to have work that you love where it no longer feels like work, where it feels like play, where it feels like a great blessing to be able to be surrounded by the people you work with and doing the things that you are doing as part of your employment? And then financial freedom, really owning, right? Really feeling free. That you're no longer limited by ideas of lack or limitation, that even in the experience of maybe not having as much cash in your bank account, you still get to experience a sense of financial freedom because you will trust that the money will show up, that you will trust that the prosperity will show up, that anything that you desire, anything that you need, anything that you would like to experience is not only on its way to you, but it will be manifested. It will be trusting and having faith in that. How would that work for you? Would that work for you? Yeah, would that work for you? Would that be the kind of life and experience that you'd like to go further into? What about the world, right? Like, think about all the things that are happening in the world. If we all, as a world community, could believe that we are able to have spiritual maturity, vibrant health, fulfilling relationships, work that we love, financial freedom, do you think that there would be war? Do you think that there would be racism, discrimination, issues of immigration, whatever the ills that may be going on in society? And so the more that we live into these abundance practices and experiences, the more that we are able to not only free ourselves, but really free the world from the shackles and the limitations that somehow or another we thought we needed to have, or we allowed ourselves to experience. And you know, I want to share with you that I'm really open to the things that I desire, right? Like, I was thinking about it, because sometimes, you know, the word desire has a negative connotation, right? Or if we're spiritual, we shouldn't desire something. Actually, desire, Charles Fillmore, co-founder, says, desire is the onward impulse of the ever-evolving soul. So what does your ever-evolving soul desire? What kind of experiences, what kind of life, what kind of embodiment is it asking for? When I share these things with you, I know that I'm speaking to all of us, myself included. Because as much as I say that I really want to be a testimony to abundance, I know that it's also work. I know that it's also a practice. And it's something that I have to make decisions on. And abundance, prosperity, those are just as a decision as faith is. You know, we think faith is this like, woo thing that's going on out there, but faith is a decision. We have to decide that we want to have greater faith in the things that we want to have greater faith in. We have to look out into the world, look within ourselves and say, what is it? Make a decision on what it is that we want to experience at a greater level and have more trust and faith in, right? Because we can choose, right? To have trust in the world outside of us, the egoic desires, or we can make a decision to have trust and faith in the spiritual desires of the soul, in what is happening within us and the way in which God is expressing in us. So it's a decision. And once we make that decision about which faith, you know, we want to live into more, it's a day-to-day practice and decision-making on how to build that faith. And we can build it through meditation, through prayer. For me, it's all about just employing the practices, experimenting with it, right? And allowing the experiments that we move into in our lives to bring us greater clarity, open up possibilities for us, and to just check in. Like, so when I ask, like, how many of us do we trust God fully, right? Like, there was an inner checking in and an inner awareness and a desire to be honest with ourselves about where we were. But what if we can look at all of this as a great experiment? And I want to invite you into the experiment of your life. Ralph Waldo Emerson says this: all life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. You know, I think back on my life and I think, you know, experimentation was for my youth, right? Like, I'm supposed to already have it all figured out, right? How many of us have added to our stress and our sense of responsibility that we just need to have everything figured out? Guess what? There's a lot I haven't figured out. You know, and we think it's for the youth. We think it's for those fun college days where we experiment, right? I know some of us did some of that, right? But it is. What if we could take all of life as a great experiment and open ourselves up to what that experiment can bring to us? Now, when I first started Unity, you know, I realized that part of it is not just the learning, but the unlearning. How many of you have notice that in your life, right? Like, you think you're needing to learn something, and really what it is you got to unlearn some stuff that you picked up along the way, right? And some of the things that I've unlearned, maybe you've experienced also. Maybe you've experienced something similar. Maybe you haven't experienced these, but I'll share with you, especially when it comes to abundance, some of the unlearning I had to do. Because I am so grateful for what my parents were able to provide for me. They really tried. Right? They really, really tried. I can't share with you enough how much they tried. And I remember being 7 and 8 years old and being asked by my parents to pick up the phone and tell the creditors that they weren't home. And so I learned to lie about my finances to myself and to others. I remember also my parents had moments of great wealth. And then they had moments where there wasn't any money in the bank account. And I learned maybe this idea that I shouldn't save. Because if I save, it's all going to be pulled right under me anyways. And the other thing that I've been really just sitting with is that I learned to be guilty about what I didn't have. You know, I did have like a level of privilege that I went to a private school. But halfway through the month, usually, you know, the private school would, over the speakers, name all the people that were asked to go to the office. And nobody said it, but everybody knew it was the people whose parents hadn't paid that monthly tuition. And I remember just feeling shame having to go into that office, right? Have any of you experienced shame? Having to lie to yourselves and others about where you're at with your abundance, prosperity, money, right? And I know it's a difficult conversation to have, right? Because of all the unlearning. You know, sometimes we get so free about talking about passions and joy, and then it comes to money and we shut ourselves down, right? But that is a part of abundance also. And it really, this process really invited me to experience life in a different way. And so, I want to share with you the practices that really shaped a new understanding. What brought me out of those thoughts that limited me and the shame and the guilt that went along with it. And I'm not going to ask you to necessarily do it, this practice. Well, that's not true. I want you to do it. But I want you to do it as an experiment. I want you to do it to prove something to yourself, if you're willing. And this practice is the practice of tithing. The practice of tithing. And the practice of tithing in Unity, we talk about it from the tithing of talent, time, and treasure. And I could talk to you about all three, but I want to focus on the tithing of treasure. And the reason I do that is because I feel that it is one of the hardest ones that I had to sort of work on, and it may be one of the hardest ones that you have to work on. Because, I've been in those moments where it's like, oh, I can't give my financial tithe to Unity in the Bay or to somebody else. And I'm like, but maybe if I serve, right, like it makes up for it, right? Because tithing of finances can be very challenging. For me, it was challenging for a couple of reasons. It was challenging because I was so excited about learning all the things I was learning at Unity that I shared it with everybody. And as soon as I told people that I wanted to begin tithing, and tithing, by the way, is an old practice of 10%. Not 2, not 3, not 7, not whatever's left over, 10% of what you have been given by God, whether it is financial resources, the talents that are in you, the time that you have to live and express in the world, right? And so I started telling people a lot about this excitement that I had, and they started poo-pooing it. They're like, you can't be tithing. Like, you can't even pay for your car payment, right? Like, why are you tithing? But I realized in that moment that it wasn't about their faith and their level of faith. It was about my level of faith, and it was something that I needed to do for myself. The other reason is I really didn't have the money, right? Like, sometimes I've shared with you that I ended up experiencing a week or so of sleeping in a friend's office floor without him knowing, because I was so ashamed that I didn't have the money to pay for rent or to figure out another way of being, right? And yet, it was because of all the challenges that me employing this practice opened me up to really greater and greater ways of being. Now, Malachi 3:10 says, "Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, so that there may be food in my house. And thus put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts. See if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you an overflowing blessing." Heaven pouring on us. I mean, doesn't that just sound amazing? Heaven pouring on us. Do you believe that that could be possible? Do you believe that that is not only possible, but it is your inheritance? It is what you are meant to experience. Heaven being poured down on us in all ways. And so tithing is that practice that really invites us to recognize, and it's not our money, right? Like, it's not that we are giving of ourselves. It is that we are giving back to the source of our nourishment, or to source itself, God, what has been given to us. It is a way of acknowledging the ways in which we have been blessed and the ways in which there has been generosity. There has been gratitude. There has been a different way of possibilities opened up for us in our lives. And so Cora and Charles Fillmore in Teach Us to Pray says this: "Give of your substance with the thought that it is God's money you are handling. Realize that it is God's tenth that you are giving for God's glory. With this thought in mind, you will begin to attract new spiritual resources, and things will begin to open up in your affairs. Take God into partnership with you, and you will demonstrate abundance." Now think about that. Think about the next time that you are in a mode of panic, in a mode of fear or anxiety, to be able to lean on trust and lean on an experience that says, wait a minute, pause, God, here I am to be your partner in this situation, in this experience. Here I am to be your partner to create something new and create even something better out of this that I am living through. And I know through this practice that the more that you trust God, the more that you trust the universe, the more that you trust abundance and prosperity, the more that I or you become trustworthy of it. Hear that. The more that we trust, the more that we become trustworthy. As you trust the universe trusts you, and it begins to bring a greater sense of good in your life, right? As we trust God with our finances, God trusts us even in greater ways with our finances. And I really wish that you could hear all the testimonies. And I finished teaching that abundance course last Tuesday, and it was one person after the other employing the practices, sharing what the shift had meant in their lives. But the question really is, what shifts are you looking for in your lives? And what are you willing to do to see the shifts through? For those of you who want to trust God more, are you willing to put in the practice and experiment with the practices that can build the trust? Or do you want it to still fear get a hold of you, right? Like, as you're invited into some of these experiments, are you going to allow fear to be what drives your decision, or are you going to be a desire and a need for a greater sense of trust and faith? Which will we choose, right? Which will we choose? And by the way, I believe that one of those choices will lead to survival mode, whether we recognize it or not, and the other will live as a thriving mode. Now, if you're somebody that needs a little bit more like science behind it, I shouldn't say science because science is important, especially nowadays, but science behind it, there was a study in the year 2000 where economist Arthur Brooks, he actually researched and taught that the more that you give, the people that give more start earning more. Not that they had more to begin with, but the more that they gave, they started earning more per dollar. And so what that tells me is that that is an exact expression of what we believe in Unity, which is the more you give, the more you receive. And so are you willing to experiment with that? Are you willing to practice it in bigger ways? I will share a couple of, or just a quick story, and some of you may know this, but I've had my own personal experience with it, right? When we were looking to purchase our home, my husband asked me, can you not tithe during this time while we save up money for our down payment? And I said, no, I have to tithe. But I invite us to trust the process. And it was quite a process because we went into a program that, we needed to do all this paperwork. And during that time, my identity got stolen. 11 credit cards were opened up in my name. I had like $12,000 in new debt. And it took me about 3 months to clear that up. My husband was looking at that and be like, I thought you said to trust, right? I thought you said it was going to work out. And it did, because 3 months later, I show up at the same program, and they said, guess what? A new program just opened up. We're going to give you free, you never have to pay it back, $30,000 towards your new home. Tithing showed up for me. Once we moved in, my husband was going to start a new job. They called him on the day that we were moving into a new house, and they said, I'm sorry, your job's not going to start for another 6 months. Oh, okay. My husband, I looked at him, we had just had this experience of tithing, and I said, let's just trust. I ask you one thing, don't ask me to not tithe during this time. And he didn't, and we tithed. And 3 months later, after he was able, right, like tithing for me opens us up to work that we love, right, experiences of thriving. 3 months later, he started a job that paid him 3 times what the other job was supposed to pay him. And we are thriving, right? Yeah, we are thriving. And so the question is, do you feel like you can be entrusted with more? And if you want to be entrusted with more, can you trust the practice? It's a difficult topic sometimes to bring up, It's a difficult thing because I know that I'm asking for you to give money to Unity on the Bay. Give money to a place where you feel God's source is showing up for you. And I'm also asking you to not do it with fear or with doubt, but with the certainty that the practice works. With no fear, no doubt, but a certainty that God will show up and support you in feeling that spiritual maturity. Because the moment that we tithe and the moment that we start to trust the process is the moment where we trust the presence of God being there and giving us that spiritual maturity. Is the moment that we start trusting the vibrant health that we can live into. It's the moment that we start trusting that God will show up as love in all of our relationships, that will show up as harmony, that we trust our work as play, that we trust that the people that we are working with, that we are in the right place at the right time, doing the right things, and we will be led to the right place and the right time to express the right things that are for us to express. And it's the moment that we can trust financial freedom. That moment that we can trust that the money will show up, that prosperity, that God will take care of us. Now, I shared with you that this is not just for, I believe, ourselves, that this is really for humanity. And I want to share with you where I just love how it shows up. Eric Butterworth, our Unity minister, says this about that idea of heaven pouring out, right, in the tithing process. He says, you are the windows of heaven, and you will be poured out as a blessing. And because you are in the flow of limitless substance by reason of your commitment to the whole tithe, the blessing that you become is more than sufficient to deal with any situation and to meet any and all requirements. If this is the moment where trust and faith are being called to be activated within you in greater and greater ways, take the opportunity to experiment with it. I know and trust that you will be shown just how powerful the practice is. And the question still remains, do you trust God? And if there's even an ounce of fear or an ounce of doubt in you, then start working on the practices that will do away with it. This is the opportunity that we get to live our practices and get to live in an abundant, prosperous world. Do you trust God? Do you trust God? Well, then let's work on it. Let's do it together, and let's see how we can be that greater sense of prosperity and abundance in the world. I'm going to invite you to join me on a 3-month program called the Abundance Experiment. The Abundance Experiment is a place where you will make a decision on where you're at with the process of tithing and commit to that process and commit to that level of giving that you are at or that you want to push yourself to. And then in the process, Reverend Chris and I, we're going to be supporting you. We're going to have a weekly prayer call, a weekly meditation, a weekly inspirational email. We'll be holding you in prayer. We will be experiencing prosperity and abundance together. And we're also going to be adding once a month a financial literacy workshop so that not only we can experience prosperity and abundance, but we can be good stewards of it. And so I really invite you to join our website, talk to me more about it, but this is really an opportunity for you to experiment with life and allow that experiment to show up in greater ways, to know that God is here, always present, and you are being taken care of. Join me, and thank you for allowing abundance and prosperity to show up in your life. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Juan. What an incredible message. Who heard what they needed to hear? Let me see those hands. Yes. Yes, and all the folks at home were going crazy with a lot of stuff. Hi, folks out at Facebook world and YouTube world. Some of the stuff that they were giving all the hearts and all the thumbs up to, Juan, were, do you trust God, right? We've got, Paula was like, yes, I do, yes, I do. We had surviving versus thriving, right? We want to thrive, right? Unity on the Bay, we want to thrive, we want to thrive. Something else, all life is an experiment. The more we experiment, the better, right? Try something new. We're constantly evolving. Maybe something that you tried last year will work this year because you're a different person, right? I mean, there's just an abundance of just love out there for our taking, for our making, for our manifesting. Join his 3-month course. It's incredible what people walk away from, especially in the abundance courses that Reverend Juan facilitates every year. So I want to also say hi to a bunch of other people that were online. Miss Angela from Maine, I see you, girl. You are all in it. I love it, love it, love it. Sonia, Annette, Juliet, Abe, Paula, Al, thank you, thank you, thank you. They were enjoying everything. Love you guys at home. You are with us in spirit, definitely. So here we believe in a spiritual law of giving and receiving. And right now is your opportunity to give in gratitude. We've got envelopes around you. If you need one, raise your hand. All right, Miss Juanita or Dennis will give you one with no problem. But also, if you want to go green and you don't want to use the envelopes, you can text GIVE, G-I-V-E. That's GIVE to 833-245-5645. All the information is going to be on the screens behind me. And also for you folks, it'll be right on your screens in front of you. Remember that our text giving number changed a couple of weeks ago, so update it in your phone. It just makes life that much easier. And I'm going to give you a second to prepare your gift. For the rest of us, let's just think that we are blessings, we are blessed, we are blessings, we are blessed. So help me bless these gifts together. Hold your hand to your heart or your gift if you would like to. Divine love that I am blesses all that I give and all that I receive. And now I'm going to invite Reverend Juan on up for a special presentation. I'll be your backup dancer.
There you go. So I am really excited about what we're going to do next, and that is because as the father to an 8-year-old, I know how important it is that not only are we receiving these principles, but that our children are. How many of you are just in gratitude to know that there are children out there who are receiving the unity principles at home, right? One of the ways that they do that is through our youth and family ministry. and the programs that they provide. And I'm going to invite Raul, who's our Youth and Family Ministry Coordinator, to come on up here. Yeah. And I want to share with you that not only are our children and our families, really because it's about the families, blessed by Raul, but he continues to work on figuring out even more ways to support our families. And we are just really grateful and excited and honored to be able to share with you that Raul has been working towards a certification through Unity Worldwide Ministries, a certification as a spiritual educator. And so he's taken the classes, he's done the work, he's put in the time, he's put in the effort. And today I am so grateful that as your representatives, Unity on the Bay, I can shower Raul with our love as we provide him. He finished his certification process, and he is now a certified spiritual educator from Unity Worldwide Ministries. And so thank you, Raul.
I wanted to say thank you. Again, I get emotional. I wanted to say thank you. It's been an incredible journey. It's been a wonderful opportunity. I'm excited about continuously growing in my faith. And one of the reasons is because of our young people. They're the future in the now. And so we really need to do more for them. And I thank all of you for your support, especially Reverend Huang, Reverend Chris, the board, the staff for supporting me with everything, and I really appreciate all of you. Thank you. And if you can help me now to bless our children that were this morning in the Kids Zone, as well our children of Unity on Bay and Unity Worldwide. Let's bless them. Children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you again, Raul. Thank you again, Raul. So our prayer chaplains are coming forward. If there is a prayer intention, if you want some support in trusting God's presence in your life a little bit more, make sure that you check in with our prayer chaplains. They will hold those prayer intentions in their hearts, in their minds, and will pray with you. We also want to invite you on your way out to pass by the table over there where Lucy is at. Lucy Leach, who is not only a congregant, but she's involved with the ACLU of Florida. This is part of us honoring Hispanic Heritage Month and beyond, because we know immigration is greater than that. But she is going to tell you about how you can live out the principle of knowing everyone's sacred worth and making sure that we are treating everyone with the worth that they deserve. And so please see her, as well as see Michelle if you want to find out more about our gala, the ways you can sponsor it, get involved, or purchase your tickets. With that, I'm going to invite us to stand up so that we can say our prayer for protection and follow it with the peace song. All right, and with joy in our hearts and with the possibility of all that is present, let us speak our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now our peace song.